their own jewel, maybe one of the best centers in the IHL, and Len Berry.
Well, Len Berry, this guy is the center of the centers in the IHL. He does it all. He can stick handle, he can pass, and he can blast the puck.
And he's got perhaps two pretty good line mates, two guys that actually played together in the start in Detroit, found themselves separated when Daniel Schenk went to Las Vegas, but they're back together in Schenk and Lonnie Loach.
What a line. You can't say enough about that line. Last year combined, they had 256 points at them, and this year, there could be no stop to that line.
All right. It's the Aeros and the San Antonio Dragons from Freeman Coliseum. When we return, it's the Gamble Game Plan. We'll be right back. To a sellout, this place holds 9,000 for hockey. They've got a laser light show going on right now. And they've got this place about as wired as you are, Troy.
It's unbelievable, Adam. This place is going to be rocking tonight.
They get about 7,000 for the CHL team that plays here, the San Antonio Iguanas, who incidentally are also going to play in this building this year. But the Dragons have caught the appeal of the city of San Antonio, and they've shown their support here as they're saying they're going to have pretty darn close to a sellout. There was only about 1,500 seats left prior to this hockey game. Now, with this being the kickoff game for the 96-97 season, it's time to introduce the Gamble Game Plan. Troy, a lot is being focused on this hockey game. Let's look at first what's been going on with the Houston Aeros and the pre-game pressure.
Well, first off, we got the first game jitters, and Adam, I went through a lot of these first games playing 9 years pro, and your stomach is just turning right now. You got butterflies, and the team that gets over those butterflies first will be the team that has success in that first period. A lot of times what coaches stress is when you get that first shift, get a shot on goal or get a big body check to get yourself into the game to get over those first game jitters. The mental aspect of it. Adam, the press has played it all up, both the off ice and everything else. Now it's time to play hockey for the Houston Aeros, and that's what they do best. And I think this is going to be a great, relaxing experience after they get that first shift over and they get out and they get that hit, and that they can get mentally into this hockey game. Specialty teams. Last year, the penalty killing went from first to last in 1 year in the IHL. That has to change, especially when you're going to play against some of the top 3 forwards in the IHL.
Troy, you talk about the first game jitters as they're introducing now the entire San Antonio roster at center ice. You talk about the pressure that comes into a hockey game like this for the Aeros after the season that they did have last year. And things didn't get off to the good start in the preseason. The team was 1-3. But I'd like to point something out. Last year, if you recall, the Aeros went 3-0 in the preseason, and everybody had these high hopes, and they managed to rattle off 6 losses in a row before they defeated the Indianapolis Ice. Now, this team went 1-3 in the preseason, but in the same sense, showed a lot of promise, and it's hard for guys, I think, to get up for the preseason. Tonight, I think, is going to be a pretty good gauge of what Dave Tippett has for a hockey club.
It certainly is going to be a great gauge what Dave Tippett has for a hockey club. And you are correct there, Adam. Last year, I thought that we could have been lazy mentally going into the season. We were 3-0. We were not that great of a team, but we got lucky. We were 3-0. This year, I think they got slapped in the face a couple times. 1-3. They should be ready for opening night.
The Aeros making a little bit of a change. One of the top forwards, in fact, the top forward for the Aeros, Mark Lamb, will be back not only as a player, but as an assistant coach. What kind of an element does that bring for not only Dave Tippett, but for the guys?
It's one of the toughest jobs in hockey, player assistant. I go back 9 years ago when I broke into the IHL. I had a player assistant, Adam, named Mark Crawford, the coach of the Stanley Cup champs, and he did a great job. And I've talked to Mark briefly about what he did. And what he did was, is that it's a fine line, Adam. You have to be with the players, but also you have to be with management. And I think Mark Lamb, out of anyone in this league, can find that compromise. And he's such a great player and a great asset.
All right, well, they're done introducing the San Antonio Dragons. Fantastic pyrotechnic show here. And not unlike my partner, Troy Gamble, it's on fire. And we hope to be on fire when we return. Game 1 of an 82 regular season schedule. The Aeros and the Dragons. We'll be right back. And Gordon, Troy Gamble. And while we have a moment here with the extended pregame show that they've got going, I wanted to go a little more in depth with Bill Bowler and clarify the situation with Bowler. The reason of his holdout, and you can't fault the kid. He felt after the season that he had last year, he wanted to take his shot at the NHL. And I have a lot of respect for that. I think the kid's got it right. But in the same sense, I think the big question mark is why he didn't just go ahead and do the Aeros camp and wait for it. And I think that's what is part of the distraction for this Aeros hockey club. They're going to have to get over that, and slowly as Bill Bowler becomes acclimated with his new teammates, as we touched upon, he's going to be a fantastic addition to this club.
Well, first off, Bill Bowler had 86 points last year for the Las Vegas Thunder. Last year, our top point getter was Mark Lamb at 77. So all of a sudden, you've added 86 points. You just don't get those players out of thin air. It was a great trade to acquire them. Now we need them, and we need them to play.
The Aeros, in their history, have never had a 50-goal scorer. They have one now, hopefully.
Exactly, and that's hopefully. It's going to take him. It's going to take him a time to adjust. He's been out. We skated today for the first time with his new teammates, and I'd say that we likely won't see Bill Bowler until next weekend unless something drastically happens tonight.
You can see Freddie Chabot getting ready, and as we talked about Freddie Chabot, I think there's a lot of pressure on him. I mean, this guy had a really good team in front of him last year in Cincinnati, and he's going to have to become acclimated to his teammates this year. A lot of people feel that he won't put up the numbers that he put in Cincinnati. I know that not only Pete Dineen and Dave Tippett hopes to prove him wrong, but I think Freddie Chabot hopes to prove him wrong.
Well, Freddie Chabot, if anyone can prove anybody wrong, it's Freddie. He's had a great preseason, and he's been great in practice. And he's the type of goalie that we're going to see will not give up the bad goal. And from not giving up the bad goal, that should keep this hockey team up all the time. I think last year, I had a tendency, personally, to let in a bad goal, the heads would drop. We should not see that this year with Freddie Chabot playing goal.
Yeah, and for the San Antonio Dragons, Bruce Racine is a guy that we saw when he was playing with the Peoria Rivermen last year, and he came down. He is a fantastic goalie with NHL experience, and he's going to help head coach Jeff Brubaker out, I think, in solving their goaltending situation this year.
Well, after talking to Rob Dobson this morning, Rob Dobson played 3 years with Bruce Racine and said he put him in the NHL. So Dauber said that he played with him, and he said he's a stand-up goalie, plays his angles well, played for the St. Louis Blues a little bit last year, but played most of the season in Peoria and had a so-so year. Didn't have a great year, but it wasn't a bad year. And we're going to see a goaltender that they're going to count on.
You know, you look at the Dragons, and if you can get a good look at their jersey, those are Dallas Star jerseys that I guess they bought right off the rack because they didn't get their jerseys in time. They had to silk screen the crest on, which is the San Antonio Dragon. That's Glenn Barry right there. They silk screen that on, and I believe the numbers are silk screened also. But you can see there are no shoulder names, no shoulder crests, no name. So, gee, what a dream game for us.
A dream game for us, Adam. But if you can remember, that happened to the Aeros in the first year,
Yep.
is that the Aeros had to wear 2 jerseys on opening night because one set was not in time.
The head coach of the San Antonio Dragons, Jeff Brubaker, who we chatted to in the second intermission. We'll have that interview for you, but everybody now rising for the national anthem, and we pause for that here as we get set for the inaugural game for the San Antonio Dragons as they take on the Houston Aeros.
Owl at the moon, Tommy, John, Sam, and Billy.
Oh, say can you sing by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight for the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red flare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Well, they sing a lot like you do, Troy.
Well, Did you hear me in the shower?
Oh, no. Don't even go there. Those are some piano singers from Howl at the Moon. It's local piano bar here. The guys get going, and they got the crowd going here.
I tell you, that was a great national anthem. Hopefully to start a great year with us being together, Adam.
Yes. Let's commence that. All right, the Aeros will start up front, and their lineup is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Mark Lamb, Gary Shuchuk, and Al Conroy. Defensively, Gord Krupke and Miles O'Connor, and once again in goal for his first of probably somewhere between 60 and 65 games. Frederick Shabbat, as he will backstop the Aeros. He was number 1 in the IHL with a 2.46 goals against average. Starting lineup brought to you, as Dave Tippett looks on, the starting lineups of the San Antonio Dragons brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Len Barry at center with Lonnie Loach and Daniel Schenk. That is the bulk of their firepower. Drake Barahowski and Dave McIntyre, two pretty good defensemen. Dave McIntyre more of an offensive defenseman. And then in goal, Bruce Racine. As on the ice, the skating commissioner, Bob Ufer, has just come out on the ice. As you look at Bruce Racine's numbers, and Bob Ufer, who I thought was going to be in Salt Lake City tonight to present the banner to the Utah Grizzlies, I guess not, but he's here to welcome one of the new franchises in the IHL.
Well, he must have been reading the USA Today, and for the people that read the USA Today, they talked about hockey in the South and all the growth of hockey in the South. And a lot of people, and I did not know this, Texas has the most pro hockey in North America.
10 teams, professional teams. That's NHL, IHL, DHL, and then there's a couple others I can't even think of. They've got so many leagues, but Texas is home for 10 of them. And Bob Ufer at center ice as they're presenting one of their TAHA, which is Texas Amateur Hockey Association. They're champions. They're Squirt Bees. So congratulations to them as Daniel Schenk, their team captain, and Al Conroy come out. In fact, those two were former teammates 2 years ago in Detroit.
They were in Detroit with Rick Dudley coaching, which there's been a coaching change there this year. Also, there's been a lot of changes that later on we can talk about in the IHL.
This has been a season of change in the IHL, a season of growth, and I think a season of a little bit of reorganization, and they've got some really good franchises ready to go. This is one of them. Grand Rapids, I think, is one of the top ones that everybody really seems to be talking about in the IHL. They've done a terrific job there. And then you can look at last year's one of their expansion teams, the Orlando Solar Bears, that went all the way to the Turner Cup Finals, only to lose to the Utah Grizzlies.
And we shouldn't call this team an expansion team in San Antonio. This is a team that moved from Peoria, and 7 players from that Peoria team came down to San Antonio. So they are not an expansion team, they are a transfer team.
All right, our referee tonight is Mr. Joe Ernst, and his linesmen will be Frank Prestigiovanni and Jay Jacobs, who will be selling pants and shirts at the end and ties. No,
this matchup right here is going to be the matchup that Jeff Brubaker is going to try all night, I believe.
Well, he's got the last change, and we're ready to go. They're going to drop the puck. Al Conroy against Len Barry. This is an Aero lineup with Lamb and Conroy that is defensive-minded, but can really harm you offensively as well. Off the draw, the puck is cleared out at center, and we're underway. Schenk brings it ahead. Naked McIntyre across the line, and we've got a whistle and offside, and already the body's flying as Krupke went in, and he was pushing with Len Barry, and Krupke turned around, and Shuchuk gets in there, and well, let's see. We've played 15 seconds. We've got a push, a shove, and we've got the fans into the game.
Well, we said in the opening, the Aeros, to get rid of those butterflies, you want to create a hit or a good pass or a shot on goal, and we just saw a hit from Gord Krupke.
The Iguana, or I knew that was going to come out. The Iguanas are going to play in this building this year. But the Dragons, this is their building, and they've done a terrific job with it. They're kind of giving it that ancient theme with castles all around. As Drake Barahowski for San Antonio shoots the puck into the Aero end. Backdoor shot in the corner, belted to the wall. Puck came out in front at center. Barahowski shoots, whistled just wide. Now picked up by McIntyre. This guy's got a cannon. Centered to Loach. Couldn't pull the trigger, and the Aero's able to clear it. They've got a 2-on-1, but a pass. Just missing Shuchuk and Barahowski. centers himself back into the zone. And the Dragons clear. Here's Shank, right side, shoot! And a terrific right pad save by Shabbat, and that gets him right into the game. Aeros can't clear. Conroy able to chip it out as that hit Joe Ernst, the referee. Now Lamb the other way. Lamb across the line. Drop the puck back. Chuck cutting in. Base of the circle. He was ridden out of the play by Mark LaForge. We've got a whistle and a holding penalty coming up. And let's see who it is on. I believe it is on one of the Dragons, and the Aeros, which we talked about in the Oshman's game plan, will get their first crack on the power play.
Well, I believe it was Dave Harverlock that is going to get the penalty for holding Mark Lamb.
And sitting down is Dave Harlock that is taking the seat, and the Aeros will get their first crack on the power play. We've yet to play a minute, and here's a look at it.
Well, you can see that Mark dropped it back and drove hard to the net, and all he could do was haul him down. He thought Mark was likely going to get back the pass, and at 6'4", when you haul down Mark Lamb, who's likely 5'7", it's pretty noticeable.
Pretty easy to spot. And now we'll look at the Aero power play. Freer will center a line with Yo and Townsend. Brian Straub, one of the new acquisitions for the Aeros, will be the left defenseman with Mark Lamb quarterbacking the power play from the point. The key will be Lamb and how he operates from the point. He's got the puck at the right side. Lamb dished it over to Straub. Getting set, shoots right on Racine through traffic of Townsend. And also in front was Mark LaForge. He was able to scoop that up and hold on.
Well, that was a good save, and you can see that the Aeros are trying to get those shots from the point. And here, Brian Straub just takes that wrist shot. We saw that in the one game that they had success as they got the shots from the point on the net. Not the hard slap shots, the good wrist shots, and the forwards then can converge on the goalie.
Dave Tippett wants to see this team shoot the puck a lot more this year. That's where a guy like Mike Hurlbut, will probably be on the second unit with Miles O'Connor, will really be a key in getting that puck. He's got a great shot. Here come the Dragons the other way, though, across the line. Jason Miller cutting in, lost the puck. Dug out by Panalev. Grigori Panalev, who won the Turner Cup last year with the Utah Grizzlies, lost the puck, and the Aeros regroup in their end with a minute and a half to go on the power play. Aeros move it up. Lamb pass to Freer off his stick, goes into the Dragon zone, but Chapdelaine is there. Rennie Chapdelaine, one of 7 players that played with the Peoria Rivermen last season, that came down for the Dragons. Freer at center. Fire one rink wide off Graham Townsend's skates. Puck was cleared and out at center. Miller trying to get there, knocks his man down. Loose at neutral ice, and the Aeros have it with a minute 10 on the power play. Scoreless hockey game from San Antonio. Game 1 of an 82 game this season for this Houston Aero Hockey Club and the Dragons. Dragons into forecheck as the Aeros try to kill off the power play. Straub near side, takes the bump, it's taken away. Good play by the Dragons, cutting in. A chance there for Scott Hollis, but he was ridden off the play, and the Aeros in transition. Conroy across the line, trying to cut in, and we've got a whistle and another penalty. It's on the Dragons. Delayed call. Hurlbut steers it down. Aeros are going to get a 2-man advantage as soon as they pop up the puck. They came back with time and shoot. That's blocked, and we'll get a whistle. As Joe Ernst has a slashing minor, and the Aeros are going to get a 2-man advantage for 35 seconds.
Well, what they were trying to do there was just get it back on net so that they could get the whistle as quick as possible so that Joe Ernst could blow the whistle, and then the team could go on that 5-on-3 power play.
Here come the Aeros bringing it in. Conroy starting the rush.
Well, that was a 2-hand slash right across Al Conroy's wrist from Keith Osborne, and that's a good call. I didn't even see that originally happen, and then on the replay, you can see that slash. 2 minutes in the sin bin.
So the Aeros now with a 2-man advantage. 35 seconds. We played not even 2.5 minutes. And the Aeros will go with Al Conroy, Gary Shuchuk, Guy LaRose as we get our first look at him this evening. Hurlbut and Lamb. And now Lamb will kick over to the left point.
Mark Lamb's going to be one of the most versatile players the Aeros have.
Maybe in the IHL. Here's Lamb getting set, top of the slot. Roll it to Hurlbut. Aeros moving on the power play. Lamb working the puck down. Hurlbut wanted to shoot it, but the pass was in his skates. Hurlbut sends one Lamb. He tried to center, he lost it. Shank trying to clear, and finally the Dragons able to move it out.
It's very unusual. Most teams play 1 forward up, 2 people back. They play 2 forwards up, 1 D back.
2-man advantage down to 10 seconds. Aeros in their own end. Pass center ice, Conroy. Aeros bring it across the line, trying to get it in on the Dragons. Dropped it back. Lamb watched by Shank, forced him wide. Give it to LaRose at the circle. Now Hurlbut's got a chance for the 2-man advantage is over. 5-on-4 for the Aeros. Shuchuk to Lamb, shooting. That was blocked by Shank. Dug out by LaRose, and here's Lamb again, winding, shooting, deflected. The puck never nailed. Here's the drive by Hurlbut. Great glove save made by Racine.
What a save by Bruce Racine. Through traffic, a blistering drive from Mike Hurlbut. And it was a tough drive because the puck was rolling. Hopefully we get a look at it. There's Mike Hurlbut. He's going to walk into it. The puck was rolling. Wow. Stretched out to his left was Bruce Racine. See the puck rolling? And that makes it so much more difficult for the goalie because the player doesn't even know where it's going. How does Bruce Racine know where it's going? And it's all reaction.
The Dragons have 1:14 left to kill on the penalty that remains to Keith Osborne. Face off to the right of Racine. They nickname him Racer. Seemed to me for a goaltender you'd want to call him Eraser.
Well, he hopes that he's an eraser tonight.
Off to a good start for the Dragons. Puck in the Dragon zone. San Antonio trying to clear. Miles O'Connor got over there for Houston. Came back to the line for Straub, but it bounced over his stick. He is belted, and it's out at center. He was hammered by Brian Shantz, who is a fan favorite here because he plays here or played here for the Iguanas.
He's a little spark plug is what he is.
Yeah. He's a good junior player, but up at the pro level, he's made himself a home at the CHL level. See how he handles things here at the IHL level. O'Connor, right point, slap shot, blocked. Now picked up by Alan May for the Aeros. Center one, tapped away. After the board, taken the Aeros power play down to 35 seconds, and the Dragons clear it down the ice.
The one thing that we're going to notice here tonight, televising the game, is the boards are so wobbly. Anytime there's a little hit, it looks like a humongous hit.
Yeah, they really emphasize things here when you run yourself into the wall. Shabbat wants to play the puck. He'll roll it over to Brian Straub. Aero power play down to 15 seconds. Straub hooks a pass to center for O'Connor. He was watched by Scott Hollis. Puck brought in Conroy. Steers one over. Here's the chance for Lamb to Conroy. Fan on the shot. Battle for the puck. Lamb came in there. Give it to Shuchuk. Gary Shuchuk center. Went by Hurl. Button it down to center. Osborne got out of the box. A man to beat Jakes. He got by Jakes. He's in a goal. Shabbat, a terrific save, and he'll hold on. And now we've got pushing and shoving, and a timeout on the ice will do the same. 3.5, 4.5 gone by in the first. Scoreless hockey game back after this, but first this word from Southwest Airlines.
Prime Deportiva, the only Spanish-language sports station in the United States, offers exclusive soccer matches every day from the leagues of Argentina, Spain, Germany, Portugal, and France. Exciting tournaments like Copa America, the Gold Cup, and Copa UEFA, plus exclusive coverage in Spanish of championship boxing every week. For sports in Spanish, including soccer and boxing not found on any other station, call your cable company today.
In the first period, and here we get a replay. What a move by Keith Osborne. Just out of the penalty box, beats Steve Jakes. Freddie Shabbat on top of the crease, takes it in the chest, keeps an eye on the puck, covers it up, and gets the whistle.
Well, I'll tell you, Keith Osborne really slick, and he shook off Jakes, which is not the easiest thing to do.
Well, what happens there is that he came out of the penalty box. He had the speed. Steve Jakes did not.
4-3, the shots in favor of the Dragons, who really have had the quality chances thus far. The Aeros have had one good quality chance, and the team made that lunging glove save. That's been about it so far for the Aeros. Up ice from the Dragons. Lead pass went behind Barry. Picked up again, though, as the Dragons bring it in left side. McIntyre shoots. Went wide. Picked up Barahowski. Tried to steer one down. 5 minutes into the hockey game. Still scoreless from Freeman Coliseum. Along the boards, McIntyre pinches. Worked one down. Well, I'll tell you, this Dragon team works hard. This is my first look at them this year, and they are working hard. Now the Aeros have a 3-on-2 the other way. Hurlbut, give it to Yo across the line. Yo is in, but he bobbled the puck just a split second, and that threw Eric Kluche off. And that is offside, so bring the face-off back to center.
And that's early season. Mike Yo last year played 69 games. Played well. He's looking for a little more this year. Every year he's improved. They're looking for big improvements this year. And Mike Yo came to camp ready to go. Great shape.
He came in last year, and I thought he was just a fit specimen. And then I saw him this year, and even put on more size.
Well, he has the shoulder problem, and I think that he wanted to build up those muscles. And I think he was on a special program, Jerry Mines' device to strengthen his shoulders.
Off the face-off, Dragons have it. We're scoreless. And it's Dave Harlock. All 6'4" of them worked one up the board. Freer tried to knock it down. It's picked up by Jason Miller. Couldn't clear. Harlock tried to get it out of there. Couldn't. Second effort is cleared back out at center. Brian Straub to his own line. Give it to Gord Donnelly. Threw it off skates. And it's picked up by San Antonio and across the line. Here's a chance for Pantaleo, but he lost it. And LaRose moves the other way. LaRose with Townsend. LaRose cutting in. Shoots. Hooked it wide of the net. Now Freer left side. Trying to move one down to Graham Townsend. Freer was belted along the boards. And it's controlled by Dave Harlock. He'll move it up the wall and out at center. That's knocked away by Freer. Aeros going with that left wing lock, and it's stymieing the Dragons a little bit. Aeros forechecking very well.
They do have their forecheck going, and with that left wing lock, they should always have 3 men back tonight.
Conroy ran his man to the board, and he gets the puck back, trying to catch the Dragons. Did a bit of a change. Here's Morissette on. Dave Morissette shooting, and a glove save made by Racine. Morissette didn't get good wood on it, but Racine makes the save, and now some pushing and shoving on Morissette.
We're going to see a little bit of that from Moose Morissette.
Fans, the speed, the hits, the fans. It's all hockey, whether you need to entertain clients, reward employees, or just want a few nights out with friends and family. The Aeros have a season ticket package for you. Enjoy discounts on Aeros merchandise and skating at the Aerodromes. For more information, call 627-AERO. Houston Aeros Hockey. Sports the way it ought to be. Dave Tippett. I think he was the one guy, as concerned as a lot of people were with the preseason, he was the one guy that really wasn't very concerned. He knows what he's got for a hockey club, and he knows coming into this game, he just wants to get these jitters and all these high expectations aside and play.
I think he was one of the biggest moves of the offseason was to re-sign Dave Tippett as head coach.
Bigger than Shabbat? Bigger than you?
The biggest that they did all summer.
No, I got to say, you're signing, then Tippett.
We'll see after tonight.
All right, puck dumped into the Aero end. In after it, Shank. That's turned around. The Aero's trying to get it out of there, and that's moved out at neutral ice. McIntyre, forecheck by Shuchuk. Boy, this game's got intensity written all over it, and we've played, just about 7 minutes. Scoreless from Freeman Coliseum. Conroy trying to hook one away. Got it back at center for Gord Krupke, who's now sporting sweater number 4 as opposed to 33 last year.
Also, we can see out here how quick they are rotating on their penalty killing. The Aeros think that they can rotate 8 different players on their penalty killing.
Now the puck is dumped in. As Morissette, we mentioned, got that penalty with that pushing and shoving match. First power play on for the Dragons. And the puck is shot out at center and back into the San Antonio zone. McIntyre hustles back, pursued by Yo. Jams it to the near side for Lonnie Loach. And San Antonio jumps up with McIntyre for Len Berry. And here come the Dragons. Lead pass to Barahowski. Sends one to Shank. That's chipped away. And Gord Donnelly, fired it right off Shank. Couldn't get it out of there. Shank takes Donnelly to the boards. They grind it out. Dragons trying to move it down, but finally the Aeros able to clear it back down the ice.
Another thing that I noticed out there is that the Aeros are forcing a lot more down ice this year.
Guy LaRose able to turn it around. Boomed it down. There's half a minute to go in the Dragon power play. We're 8 minutes into the first. Scoreless. Here comes San Antonio to center. It's Brent Bilodeau trying to shake off a check. Krupke goes in after it. He's taken to the boards by Scott Hollis. Puck centered, loose puck. And finally Straub was there. Straub to center. Give it to Freer. The Aeros shorthanded for another 5 seconds. Freer dumps in and goes for the quick change.
You mentioned Bilodeau there. They say he's been the surprise in all camp.
He has been a big surprise, and Donnelly plays it, but maybe not to Jeff Brubaker, their coach. He felt Montreal gave up on him too early. He said, I'll take it, even though he played, Bilodeau did, for San Francisco last year. And here come the Dragons the other way as there was a big collision. That got the crowd going. I think if we were to watch a kaleidoscope with flowers growing, that would get the crowd going tonight. They are just wired as Morissette touches the puck. It's offsides, face-off brought to center. When we return, scoreless from San Antonio. Back after this. 60 minutes, not 1 minute less, and he's getting it thus far.
Well, what he does is he scares the heck out of them. See the size of Brubaker?
Oh! Well, he could probably never be a color man in hockey because he'd never fit in the booth. He's huge. Just tall and very intimidating.
Very intimidating man.
We had a good chat with him before the game,
and we'll see his size compared to you, Adam.
Oh, brother. All right, puck at center ice. We're back to action. Panalev now brings it up for San Antonio. That's knocked away Lamb. Able to chip it out at center, and the Aeros regroup. Aeros have created some chances, but really haven't gotten the quality shots on goal in this first period. Lamb, his pass just missing Shuchuk. Going back to play it is Mark LaForge. Trying to work one up for Panalev, and the Dragons go back. Harlock. Worked over by Shuchuk in the board. They grind it out some more. And finally taken by Conroy. He sends one to the line for Mike Hurlbut. Hurlbut to Lamb. Sends one to Conroy. Centered one. It went off skates. Harlock in there to dig. Shuchuk took the puck away. Had his stick held. Shuchuk kicks the Lamb. Base of the circle. He centered one, but Conroy was shaded off the puck. But he took it back. Good work by Conroy and Lamb and Shuchuk. And then Shuchuk drilled from behind, a penalty coming out. Battle for the puck, and finally I think Mark LaForge, who put a pretty good two-hander to the back of Shuchuk, is going to draw the penalty here.
Well, Mark LaForge, a 6'3", just nailed Gary Shuchuk across the back. And Mark LaForge has been known for his physical play. That was a little too physical, Adam.
So he'll go to the box. Watch in front of the net, for those of you watching this game on Prime
This
Sports.
is what you call a huge cross-check. That's not it there. It was in front of the net. That was the mix-up behind. You see the little glove rub there of Al Conroy, and that is funky play by Al Conroy. He gets that little glove up in your face, and he just gives you a little face wash.
You know what? You kind of have similar teams in some aspects. I think San Antonio is going to be one of those gritty teams that likes the old face wash, the extra jab to the guy.
Well, Al thought he had a little speck of maybe a pregame meal on his cheek.
Clean the schmutz off your face. Here's Yo on the power play. Gets it over now for Miles O'Connor, who's working the point with Brian Straub. Now Freer worked one down for Mike Yo. Power play just getting started for the Aeros. It's their third of the night. Yo at the hash marks, getting set, sends one down. Freer trying to cut in. He centered. Straub winding, shooting. He missed just to the far side. O'Connor's pass knocked away, and here come the Dragons shorthanded. It's Yanis Komans trying to bring one in there, and it's finally into the Aero end and turned around by Brian Straub. Here comes Yo. Yo in across the line, lost the puck. Dragons can't clear. Straub cuts to the slot. Straub with a minute 17 on the power play, got forced to the line. It's out at center, and the Aeros are there. Yo's pass, a little too far for O'Connor. Miles able to clear it to center. Townsend looped it for Brian Straub. 9 minutes to go in the first period. No score in the game. Shuchuk across the line. Steers one down Conroy. Cutting in, shoots, receive the save, rebound. Hurlbut couldn't pull the trigger. Under a minute to go in the power play. Hurlbut winding, shooting, scoring! Mike Hurlbut with a one-time drive. Top of the slot at the power play goal. Aeros take a 1-0 lead.
All that play started from Gary Shuchuk, delaying, making the nice pass down to Al Conroy, who fed it back to Mike Hurlbut, who drove it to the net. Here we go. Pass out to Hurlbut. One-timer. Nothing Bruce Racine could do there.
Well, and this is what Dave Tippett has wanted. More shot from the point, and this paid off.
Unbelievable shot from Mike Hurlbut. Al Conroy had given it back to Gary Shuchuk, who made the soft pass to Mike Hurlbut. And what a relief for Mike Hurlbut to get that first goal out of the way.
Well, Mike Hurlbut is going to be counted upon to maybe be the leader of this team from the blue line from an offensive defenseman standpoint.
He was an all-star in the American League, and they expect that he could be an all-star in the IHL.
Well, off to a good start as the Aeros take the 1-0 lead. The nice thing about doing the first game of the year, this first of the year, it's easy to keep stats.
Easy to keep stats.
Off the face-off, Dragons have it, and it's fired in to the Aero end. Shabbat goes to play. Jammed it along the near side. Lamb couldn't get there. Donnelly pushing and shoving with Shankin. I think Donnelly's going to come up short end here. Got the stick high on Danny Shankin. We'll sort it out when we return. 8:36 to go in the first period. Aeros with a 1-0 lead.
Hi, I'm D.A. Weibring, and I'm here with Randy Smith, Royal Oaks Golf Professional from Dallas, Texas. We've put together a variety of golf tips that we think will help your golf game.
That's true, D.A.
Face washes and gets guys into trouble. Well, Daniel Shank got Gord Donnelly into a little bit of trouble, and the Aeros will be shorthanded for the second time tonight as Donnelly sits for high sticking.
Donnelly just got his stick up a little high on Shank, and the one thing about Shank, he's the best in the IHL for drawing penalties.
Oh, there's no doubt. Conroy, able to clear the puck to the line, not out. Barahowski held it, but he threw it on skates. It's out to center. Shuchuk pursues, nearly took the puck away. Conroy brings it in. Al Conroy, I think, to be honest with you, is flying tonight. I think this line is really doing a terrific job for the Aeros.
After last year, he's taking a lot upon himself, and that's why you see him out there tonight being one of the best players.
Yeah. In fact, you know what? If you even remotely ask these guys anything about last year, they kind of look at you. It's dead in their mind. And I think you'll hear that in Dave Tippett's comments coming up in the first intermission, how they're focused on only one thing. Anything less than a Turner Cup will not be a very successful season. And I like that, Tom. I like that a lot. Now a chance for the Aeros, shorthanded. LaRose got a chance. LaRose is in alone. LaRose waits. He shoots. Great save by Racine. A terrific right pad save. And he gets this crowd on fire.
That is just great skating from LaRose. He had Barahowski trying to catch him, but when LaRose is at full speed, forget it. There he is, breaking away. Sorry, Drake, you're too late. And there's the chop in the back. But what a save by Bruce Racine to get that right pad. He stayed down low in his stance and moved and kicked out his right leg. Bruce Racine's played very well so far.
That's a critical save he made there on Guy LaRose.
It's a nice play by Guy LaRose to move from his left to the right. He would have liked to went upstairs, but when you have Drake Barahowski, who's 6'4", chasing you, you want to just get rid of that puck.
Drake Barahowski, who's in the block, he most notably got his start in the NHL with the Toronto Maple Leafs.
In the Maple Leafs spot that they had the second coming. Drake Barahowski has great potential.
All right, Aeros on the power play in about a minute 4. We'll go 4-on-4 for that duration. Now the Dragons are out at center, romping down the right side. It's Jason Miller. Dumps the puck in, Shabbat out of the cage. Shabbat flings it along the boards. Is Krupke getting into it with one of the Dragons? Battle for the puck. Krupke's there. Krupke trying to move it out of there. That's knocked away. Kanaleyev has it on this 4-on-4 situation. Kanaleyev trying to get away from O'Connor. He did. Kanaleyev turning in the circle. Back to the line. A shot by Chapdelaine wide. And the Aeros come up with it. Shuchuk up the board. Get it to center for O'Connor. O'Connor across the line. O'Connor lets the shot go, but a pretty routine glove save by Bruce Racine. He'll hold on with 7:04 to go. In the first, 1-0. The Aeros lead it on a Mike Hurlbut goal, a power play tally.
Talking to some of the Dragons today, Kanaleyev was the one player that stood out in training camp. This kid has skill.
Well, Kanaleyev, he's not very big, but he's very strong, and he's not your typical European player.
He has legs the size of tree trunks, and I just noticed Brubaker there. I noticed him standing up on the bench, and if I'm a season ticket holder behind there, I'm pretty peeved right now.
Yeah. 7-4, the Aeros are out shooting the Dragons. Dragons have been stuck on 4 shots for about the last 12, 13 minutes. Look at them behind there. They're going, well, you know, we'll sit back, relax, enjoy the game, and hopefully maybe Jeff will move around a little bit.
Well, who's going to say something to a guy that size?
Yeah, exactly. You are, Troy. That's part of the initiation of coming up here.
I had my one run in last year, and that's it. No more.
Here's Brian Straub. He'll send it over to Earl, but what, you've never been in an altercation, have you?
Once a year, that's it. So don't get me mad at him.
Here comes Spear across the line. Spear turning in, had it knocked away. In 8 seconds, Aeros will be on the power play. Dragons come away with it. They'll move it up the wall and out at center. It's Guy Levesque. He overskated the puck, a delayed offside. They need to clear the zone. With one of the new rules we can talk about, this new delayed offsides, you can clear the zone, but once you touch up, you cannot go back in as an offsides call now coming up. And the Aeros are on the power play, but only for 43 seconds. That is what remains to Drake Barahowski. 6:25 to play in the first. 1-0 Aeros.
That rule is confusing to everyone. And all it does is clog up the neutral zone.
Well, I think what they were thinking is that the defenseman now, I don't understand why they're trying to get the defenseman to carry. I think instead of sitting back and letting a team come to you, you want to go after them.
There's a picture of Grant Townsend, who was the Neutralite Man of the Year in the IHL for community service. And Graham Townsend does more community service than any pro athlete in North America.
Yeah, and tomorrow at the Aeros home opener, he will be presented the award and recognized by the Aeros in the city of Houston.
And he should be.
Yeah.
What he does for the community is amazing.
And talk about a player that's come into his own. I think there are a lot of question marks about Graham Townsend after the first year. But Dave Tippett has said he's going to utilize Graham in a little bit different role. And you know, if you ask Dave Tippett, he thinks Graham Townsend might have been his most consistent, if not his best forward in the preseason.
Well, he has that size, but now he's in the box.
Aeros are going to get nailed for too many men on the ice, so Townsend will serve the penalty. That's not very neutralitish of him. Not very man of the year. But he'll sit in the box, and that'll do it for the Aero power play. They got about 3 seconds of it. Now the Dragons will get a power play in half a minute. Miles O'Connor lost the puck. Panalev's got a break. Panalev is in. Panalev will shoot. And Shabbat got over there to make the save, and a penalty coming up to the Aeros. Delayed call. Panalev blew right between Miles O'Connor and Gord Krupke after O'Connor had coughed up the puck at his line, and in went Panalev.
Sometimes you can turn over the puck, but the Panalev, forget it, because he's off to the races, and this guy's a thoroughbred in the IHL. He skates with the best of them.
Krupke will get the penalty.
Watch him go here. There's the turnover. Watch him blast off. See you later. He can fly. Gord Krupke ties him up. And there's the penalty.
So the Aeros now, in 18 seconds, will be down 2 men. And the Aeros needing to watch a little bit here as we'll get a good look at this power play unit, which will now bring out Len Berry, Daniel Schenk, Lonnie Loach, Dave McIntyre, the only defenseman, but in 18 seconds, they'll get Barrett.
That is explosiveness at the finest in the IHL.
Here's Al Conroy. He's able to move it up the boards, couldn't get it out of the zone. Now a chance. Here's Loach, centered the shot. Oh, just went wide. How lucky is Freddie Shabbat there?
I don't know if that was luck or if Freddie got a piece of it when he drove across.
Well, he keeps it 1-0, and a 2-man advantage now for the San Antonio Dragons. At center ice, Loach drills it in. Hard rim around the boards for Schenk. Lets it roll back to McIntyre. You've got to get on McIntyre because the guy has got a howitzer. You think Hurlbut put one in with a good shot? This guy can rip it. Now, Barahowski, top of the slot. Shoots! Shabbat got a piece of it and deflected it to the corner. It'll go to the line. Barahowski getting set. Hooked one down. It came back. Barahowski shoots. He went upstairs. Shabbat may have had a shoulder on it. That was a rising shot from Drake Barahowski. Donnelly fights for the loose puck. 2-man advantage to 38 seconds. Loach camped out behind the cage. Barahowski missed the net with his shot. Now it's Len Berry. To the line for McIntyre. Barahowski to McIntyre. Fakes the shot. Hooked one down. That went wide. Berry sends one. Here's a centering pass. Barahowski couldn't get a shot away. A delayed penalty coming to the Aeros. A shot. And Hurlbut fighting for it. And we've got a slashing minor coming up to the Aeros. And right now, the Aeros are finding the shovel and digging themselves into a huge hole.
I think what we're going to see is Gord Donnelly took a swipe. And I believe it might have been Len Berry. And he's going to get 2 minutes, I believe, for slashing.
And right now, Joe Ernst, the referee, is talking. I'm not so sure Donnelly's not going to get more.
I don't know. I don't like the way that scorekeeper's writing things right now.
Let's take a look at the penalty for those of you enjoying the game on Prime Sports.
Gord's going after the puck. Boom.
Ooh, yeah, you got to call that.
That's a 2-minute penalty. Here you go again. He's going for the puck. He's trying to slash his stick. He gets it up too high, gets him between the cuff of the glove and the elbow pad.
I wonder if the talk is about more than 2 minutes for that. I hope not, but Gary Shuchuk going over to the bench to talk with Dave Tippett. Oh, no. I don't know what. Well, I don't know what all the talk was. They have not announced the penalty yet.
All they've announced is how you can purchase tickets.
I know how to purchase tickets.
We can see it in the ice. Tickets, 7 Dragons.
How can you buy tickets for seats that aren't available? This place is packed to the rafters.
Freddie Shabbat just catching his breath.
Well, it's only 2 minutes. And remember now, there's 16 seconds left to Townsend, 42 seconds left to Krupke. So the 2 minutes to Donnelly don't start until the 16 seconds to Townsend are up. So quick math, that would be 22 seconds, 26 seconds. Boy, good thing I wasn't a math major. 26 seconds of a two-man advantage in addition to what we got
That's
here.
why I left it with you, Adam.
Oh, thanks, pal. Here's McIntyre on the power play for the San Antonio Dragons. McIntyre, top of the slot, steers one over. McIntyre wanted to pull the trigger, couldn't. Works it back over to Karahowski. Takes the shot, goes back to McIntyre. Shoots, but he fired it right off shoot shot. Now the 2-minute start to Donnelly. In 23 seconds, the Aeros will get a man back. Puck in the Aero end. There's Greer. Can he clear it? He was hauled down by Lenberry. Puck squirts free. Here is Steve Jakes now. Has nowhere to go. He's taken to the board. Played with the puck too long. Was indecisive where he wanted to go with it. Karahowski worked one back. Sends one over. In 3 seconds, the Aeros will get a man back. Here's a shot that went wide. And the penalty is over. And Townsend goes out. Townsend cuts out. And the Aeros have a man back. There was some confusion in the penalty box for the Aeros. Now the puck centered, and that's blasted away, and that is exactly what the Aeros needed. There was confusion because Townsend didn't know if he was to come off or Krupke, and Dave Tippett screaming across the ice saying, Townsend, get out there. But the Aeros, no harm there, but a minute 10 to go in the power play.
That was great alertness from Dave Tippett yelling out across the ice, saying, Downer, get on the ice.
Now the puck brought over the line and offsides, and there's a minute exactly remaining in the Gord Donnelly minor, and I'll tell you what, if the Aeros can kill this off. Whew.
There's that key addition. Dave Tippett behind the bench. And all week there was some distractions. Dave Tippett kept this team so focused.
Yeah.
It impressed me immensely. The way he kept the team together and kept them focused on what we are doing here tonight. Try to get the 2 points. Get out of Dodge and get ready for the home opener.
So much about those distractions, and with Bill Bowler finally ending his bid for the NHL and joining
Seems
the
like it could be coming together.
Well, it couldn't come at a better time, Troy. Aeros lead this game 1-0. Chapdelaine at center. Fired a puck ahead to Bilodeau, and that went into the Aero end. Loose puck came back to the line. Here is Chapdelaine getting set. Shoot! Shabbat, well, he couldn't see it through traffic, but it never made it to him. Battle for the puck. Greer lobs one over to Jakes, but he couldn't play it. Jakes in the corner. Trying to work one away. It came over to Keith Osborne. Moreau's battling in there. Now Jakes takes his man to the boards. That is Brent Bilodeau. And the puck is picked up by the Aeros and shot the length of the ice. In 20 seconds, the the Dragon power play will be history. Really didn't test Shabbat a little bit in the first part of this two-man advantage. Puck in the corner for Yo. He's hit by Osborne of San Antonio. It came back to the line. A shot went on to Shabbat. He will scoop it up as that shot came from Brent Bilodeau, and he will hold on with 1 second remaining in the Donnelly penalty.
Frederick Shabbat was out on the top of his crease. And the one thing is Gord Krupke and Mike Hurlbutt cleared the way so that Freddie could see the puck all the way. And wisely, he took the whistle. The one thing about Freddie Shabbat, players will learn, when you come off that wing, this kid covers everything on the ice. Very, very tough to beat. Will not give up bad goals. And that's what the Aeros were looking for.
Eric Cloutier, one of the new acquisitions for the Aeros, taking the face off, went off his skates, that shot did. Into the corner, Cloutier trying to clear it. There's a gritty guy at Eric Cloutier. You keep an eye on him. Wearing sweater number 27. Now Donnelly's back out on the pond, and he'll shoot the puck into the San Antonio end. Out of the net, Racine wants to play it, flings it along the boards, got it by Cloutier, but not out. Krupke, long drive, bidding for his first goal as a Houston Aero. And a stick save made by Racine. Puck is in the San Antonio zone. Out at center they come. 3-on-2 the other way. Here's a chance. The shot. Goal!
Brian Sullivan played last year in the Italian League. And he has a cannon. Here he comes, walks in, untouched, blasts a shot, 5-hole between the legs. Not too much for Freddie Shabbat to do there. It was a 3-on-2 down the ice. Nice little Foster pass there. Sullivan walks into it. And at 6'4", he can get a lot of lumber on it.
And that fires up this crowd and fires up this Dragon Hockey Club. They've tied the game at 1. Minute 40 to play in the period. Conroy taken off the puck. Aeros played about 4 or 5 minutes short-handed there. They need to get back to the 5-on-5 game. Here's Landry, shoots but missed to the far side. Now the Aeros turn it down. Donnelly looking for Conroy, who's having his stick held behind the net by Mark LaForge. Puck in skate. Panalev trying to get in there. Gets loosened up by Lamb. Lamb taken to the wall hard. And finally the Dragons clear it right back out at center as Donnelly hustles back.
We're going to see a quick turn up here.
Straub fired it in. And the Dragons will play it. Puck shot in is the final minute of play. In this period, Brian Straub goes back for Houston. Sends one to Freer. And now it's Lamb out at center. Lamb hits the line with Jakes and Townsend. Lamb looking to make a move late in the shift with a backhander, but he missed the net. In there is Mark Freer looking for Townsend. Taken to the boards. Lamb still out there late in this shift, needing a line change, battling in there. Lamb gives one to Mark Freer. Freer getting set. He centered one. Nobody there. Jakes held at the right side for Freer. Sets up. Freer centered. Here's Lamb shooting. That was blocked. Oh, man, these Dragons get right in front of you. They're blocking everything tonight. And now the Dragons off to the races, but Townsend got back to chop it away from Len Berry. Now Freer, the pass, LaRose. He had a no-look pass, and I don't know what LaRose was thinking there. Not a very good play as Osborne shoots it back down. Jakes goes to play it. Taken to the boards by Berry. Townsend came up with it. And now Guy LaRose will take it as the buzzer sounds ending this first period. It was all Houston at one point, and then the Dragons give them credit. They got a power play. Even though they didn't score, they managed to get a goal to tie things up, and they are back in this game.
Exciting first period, Adam. Both ways we saw good goaltending. We saw good power plays and great penalty killing on both sides.
All right, we're in the first intermission. The Aeros, the Dragons, knotted at 1. When we return, we'll have more after this. 97 season, I'm with the head coach of the Houston Aeros, Dave Tippett, and Tip, with all the off-ice situation, it must be nice to get down to hockey tonight.
Well, that's it exactly. You know, we came into training camp, everybody's worked very hard, and, you know, we've had a good camp. We've had some players really stand out, and, you know, we're looking forward to getting things going here on a winning way.
What are some of the positive attributes of this club? What do you feel encouraged about coming into this year?
Well, obviously, Freddie Shabbat is a big addition for us in goal. He's going to, you know, really solidify that position for us. We've had some great play in camp from guys like Mark Freer, who's really turned it up a notch from last year. Gary Suchuk played very well. Al Conroy, you know, is always consistent and playing well. So we've had some guys play very well in camp, and we got to take it into the season.
How nice is it to finally get Bill Bowler back in the lineup?
Well, Billy, he just came in the other day here. It's going to be great to get him going. We'll get a week of practice behind us after the weekend, and you know, he'll learn a lot of the stuff that our guys have learned the last couple of weeks in camp, and he's going to be a great addition for us.
Now, you look at the situation with Bill Bowler, Mark Freer, Mark Lamb, Al Conroy. I mean, you've got guys that not only can play center, but the wing. Is it nice to have all those options?
Well, I mean, it is. You get players that, you know, are versatile. You can use them in utility positions. You know, this game is there's a lot of injuries that happen, and so you got to be in a position where you can shuffle guys around, and guys that have those capabilities are a great asset. So all those guys have, you know, they're going to adapt to different situations and do it very well.
This is your first season as a head coach, first full year. Was there anything that you didn't expect when you got to do the camp all on your own?
No, everything went pretty well. You know, the players were very responsive to a lot of the ideas that I was putting forth at them, and like I say, everybody's worked very hard. So I'm very pleased to this point. You know, we just got to take it out of camp and into the regular season.
And I think, you know, the one thing about this team is their focus. There's only one thing that you've talked about, and that's the Turner Cup.
That's exactly it. We went in our first meeting of the year. We talked about our number one goal is to win the Turner Cup, and that will not change until the last game of the year.
We appreciate you stopping by. Good luck this year.
Thanks very much, Adam.
All right, that's head coach Dave Tippett joining us, and we will have more from Freeman Coliseum when we return. We'll be right back.
Today. It was kind of funny as I watched Pete Deneen downstairs today handing out contracts, and their eyes just lit up. They were so excited that they were given 25-game contracts. Same with Rob Valisevic, who's not playing tonight, and Aaron Bowe, who I think we could see tomorrow night play some action. Big, strong defenseman, plays tough, but can move the puck also.
Yeah, and don't forget about Brian Straub, who has a 25-game tryout with this hockey club. This guy played in Fort Wayne last year, played with the Atlanta Knights, and he found himself a home. Dave Tippett plans on using him on the power play a lot with Mark Lamb.
Well, last year, the Aeros had a player named Carl Belmont that was kind of a tweener.
Oh, by the way.
He was a tweener. He played up, he played back, he played all over. We've seen a little bit of Brian Straub play wing. He played back. He plays very solid defensively, but adds that offensive punch from the blue line.
Let's take a look at the first period stats. They're brought to you by your local Chrysler Plymouth dealer. The shots on goal in the first period. At one point, the Dragons had only 4 shots with about 5 minutes left to play in that period, and then all of a sudden lit it up. Shots after 20 minutes, 10-9 in favor of San Antonio. The Dragons 0 for 5 on the power play, which includes a couple of stints with a 2-man advantage. The Aeros 1 of 4 on the power play. And the penalties, the Dragons 4 penalties for 8 minutes. The Aeros 5 for 10 minutes. And really, the last couple of them in that period, I think, really hurt the Aeros' rush, the momentum that they had built up in that first period. And I think the best thing that could have happened with the Aeros was A, killing off the penalties, and B, the sound of that buzzer is they now need to regroup and get themselves going like they did in that first period.
Well, exactly. They came out flying down here, and there he is. There he is, Pete Deneen, Director of Player Personnel, who, this team is Pete Deneen's team. He went out, signed Frederick Shabbat, signed Gary Shuchuk, made the trade last year, the great trade, to Las Vegas. And he's getting a first-hand look at what he has.
All right, we're underway with the second period. Score tied at 1. Let me just check this. Yes, we are 5 aside. Pinch me, I must be dreaming. Thank you. I was kidding. Now the puck brought in. Here's a chance for Loach. Loach looking for Barry. That's knocked away. And Shuchuk lost the puck. It's taken away. Len Barry smacked one in behind. O'Connor trying to chase it down. He's belted from behind by Shank right into the wall. Miles O'Connor looks over and screams something at Daniel Shank. I've never seen anybody ever yell at Daniel Shank before. Now the puck, okay, that tongue-in-cheek. Puck in the corner, taken by Shank, winding, shooting. Shabbat saving, and he'll hold on. Boy, what a terrific shift. First shift of the second period for Daniel Shank, and now Miles O'Connor getting into the middle of things.
With that line out there, that Shank line, you're going to see this stuff. He's an agitator. Some choice words from Miles O'Connor saying, get out of my crease. Leave Frederick Shabbat alone.
Boy, you look at San Antonio and the job that they've done with this great crowd, and already 20 minutes of action and the pushing and the shoving. This rivalry is off to already a very good start.
Well, there's going to be a huge rivalry between these guys. And Daniel Shank, look at those numbers. Wow. And the one number that's not out there is he has 200 penalty minutes, draws about 500 penalties a year.
And you know what? If you want to pick a big knock on Daniel Shank of those penalty minutes, a lot of times they're not at the right time.
Not at the right time, and a lot of them are of the 10-minute and game misconduct variety. And what happens is that Daniel scores 50 goals a year. You want him on the ice.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a guy you'd like to see his Pims down just a little bit. Now off the face-off as we stay at 5 aside. No penalties in that little skirmish. And the puck shot up, and Freer has a chance across the line. Freer moving in, shoots. He scores! Mark Freer down the right side, beating Racine short side. And the Aeros take a 2-1 lead.
Mark Freer, all camp, has been shooting the puck so much better. His upper body strength is up, and he's driving the puck so much harder than he did last year. And there, for an instance, beat Bruce Racine, short side.
You know, you told me a little story about Mark Freer last year, how you could tell that last year he had a little bit off his shot. Seems to have it back this year.
Well, watch this shot here. Mark Freer just breaks down the wing, has a bouncing puck, boom, snaps it. Now that is the shot that Mark Freer had 2 years ago. Let's hope it stays here.
Now the Dragons back at center, trailing 2-1. Loose pocket here is Townsend. Fired one in. Dragons trying to clear. That's knocked away. Back out at center, and Lenberry jumps on a loose puck and fired it ahead to Shank. But Jakes took it away. Here come the Aeros. Townsend fired one in, and the Dragons come right back. Barry, nice pass for Loach, who's in, but that is offside. And the face-off back at center.
A little jump in the Aeros out there, and a lot of jump with Mark Freer on that goal. The defenseman was coming over to him, and he just snapped it off so quickly. And that's what the Aeros want to see of Mark Freer. Kept his feet moving and drove the puck low to the glove side. There he is chatting there with Mark Lamb. Mark Lamb's going, geez, did you ever bulk up over the summer?
Yeah, he's put on a tremendous amount of size. Not the most stockiest of guys, but this year he's definitely worked it hard on the weights. Now the puck shot back into the Aero end. Donnelly gives chase. Donnelly will bring it out now. Donnelly, the pass ahead for Kluche, but he was pushed off the puck by Chapdelaine. Now Chabot out of the net. Oop, fired it right over to Jason Miller. Sends the puck down into the corner. It came back. Miller cuts in, shoots. Just ripped it wide. Actually, that was Panalev that let it go. Panalev wanted to come up with it again, but now Gord Donnelly, or make it Straub rather, that tried to clear it. Loose puck. Donnelly misplayed it, but he was able to turn around behind him and get it over to Yo. Yo at center ice. Dumped the puck into the San Antonio zone. It's covered up by Bruce Racine. And he will cover up with just about 2 minutes gone. And now some more pushing and shoving as Alan May gets in there. There's a look at Eric Kluche getting in there. And the pushing and shoving. And now the gloves drop and Yo's going to go. Yo is going to fight. I don't see the number who it is. Is that Bilodeau? He's fighting with Bilodeau, who's got about 3 or 4 inches on Yo. But boy, Yo right in there for the stiff right hand. Bilodeau's got him locked up in a headlock now. Yo trying to shake him loose with an overhand right. Bilodeau countered with his right. And Bilodeau took Yo down. What a boat. Great bout there.
Bilodeau could get 2 minutes for instigating. Jumped in there very quickly before Mike Yo had his gloves off.
You know, the big knock on Brent Bilodeau when he came out of juniors and into the pro hockey ranks was a guy that's 6'4", never played very tough. They thought he was pretty soft, but he's really turned his game around, and that is exactly what Jeff Brubaker has wanted.
Jeff Brubaker has turned this kid around. I watched him in exhibition twice. This kid is not the same kid that was drafted by the Montreal Canadiens. Jeff Brubaker has lit a fire under him and made him play aggressive. Well, that was a great bout.
A terrific tilt. And here's how it started is Alan May took a little bit of a spear. And Kluche in the middle of it. I don't know what the delay is. Just even if Bilodeau were to get an instigator, as you pointed out, Troy, the new rule in the IHL is he would not get a game misconduct. He would get just a 10-minute misconduct. But I don't think he instigated it.
After seeing that in the replay, they both got at it pretty hard. Here's a good picture of Mike Yo.
The man that used to pick up the nickname Bam Bam, Bilodeau.
Bam Bam's got a little mark over his right eye from a Bam Bam left, I think, from Mike Yo.
Well, they're still trying to sort everything out. Daniel Shake doesn't like this call. There's 2 minutes up now to Rennie Chapdelaine, as I'm not so sure if he's not serving a 2-minute instigator.
Well,
as far as for Bilodeau.
I wonder if Chapdelaine was the guy that gave the stick to Al May's stomach.
Oh, maybe.
It was tough to see. It happened so quick. It was an innocent play, and then all of a sudden there was a little spear
To Al May.
to Al May.
I don't know who it was.
And I wonder...
We'll take a look here for those of you on Prime Sports. Yeah, Chapdelaine, watch. Waiting, whack, right there.
Right in the crest.
Troy, you were all over it.
Well, you know what? They said I needed glasses last year, and I think I just proved them wrong.
Yeah, well, meanwhile, back at the camp.
Back at the camp. Yeah, we can't talk about last year. That's over. That's the last time you're going to hear about last year.
That's what you said last year. All right. They have everything sorted out, and 2 minutes go up to Rennie Chapdelaine.
That was a good look at Daniel Shank's blade. The one thing Daniel Shank does is he did in the first period. He knocks down more pucks in front of the net than any player in hockey. Not in the IHL, in hockey.
Yeah, he was good. In fact, we were watching him today at practice with tip drills. Is there really
10 minutes doing tip drills?
There's nobody better with a stick than Daniel Shank, which is probably why he kisses it after every goal. Aeros are beyond the power play. It is their 5th of the night. They're 1 of 4 on the man advantage. In fact, one of their goals off the stick of Mike Hurlbut, who is out there with Miles O'Connor. Up front, Al Conroy with Gary Shuchuk and Guy LaRose. Conroy, the pass, went behind LaRose, but it was dumped in. Racine came out to play it, trying to fire it through Conroy. It came up the boards, and O'Connor sets up right point. Miles O'Connor, give it to Shuchuk, back to O'Connor. Fired it off skates, that'll sail up and out of play.
Very aggressive penalty kill that the Dragons have employed this year.
Oh, everything they're doing is aggressive.
And I guess that's the way Jeff Brubaker supposedly coaches. But in the IHL, once these power plays start clicking, that can be very tough.
Jeff Brubaker was a very tough customer in his day when he played, and I asked him, I said, do you want your team to play like it? No, I don't want someone to tab or label me as this kind of coach or that kind of coach. You know, I was accused of taking the odd slash, the extra high hit. I just want my team to play tough and play disciplined and play smart. And so far, to be honest with you, he's gotten that from them tonight.
Exactly.
Along the board, Shuchuk lost an edge, down he went, and the Dragons able to clear it.
Also, I heard a rumor about Jeff Brubaker. He's the best at crossword puzzles you'll ever find in your life. Come on, it's his big hobby, crossword puzzles.
I wish I would have known that when I was chatting with him. I'll have to do that tomorrow when these two teams go at it at the Summit. Oh, by the way, home opener. Here's a shot in the slot, blocked by Panalev, and that is cleared back into the Aero zone. 3 minutes gone in the second. 2-1 hockey game. We're under a minute to go in the Aero power play. Mark Lamb quarterbacking the breakout. He'll send the pass ahead, but too far for Hurlbut, and it's smacked right back down by the Dragons. But here comes Lamb in across the line, trying to beat Berehowski. Dropped it back for Graham Townsend. Right back for Lamb. Lamb sliding in, centered the shot. Sliced just wide by Kluche. Now on the boards, Kluche digs out a puck, but his pass was tipped away. And the Dragons try to clear. They can't. Here's the chance. Lamb shoots. Oh, what a save by Racine. Rebound. They score! Graham Townsend continues with his torrid scoring. And the Aeros take a 3-1 lead. A power play goal.
What a spectacular play all around. First, we had the unbelievable save on Mark Lamb by Bruce Racine. And then Graham Townsend, Johnny on the spot, drives it up over for the goal. Here we get a great look at it. Oh, Mark Freer again causes the turnover from Berehowski. What a play. Oh, off a skate. And then Graham Townsend driving to the net. What a good play all the way around. Mark Freer, remember that name.
I don't think Houston fans have forgotten that name. They'd like to remember, but Graham Townsend gets his first of the regular season. He had 3 goals in the preseason. Now, the Dragons down by a couple. Barry fighting for a loose puck with Brian Straub. We've got a whistle, and we've got penalties coming up, interference, and we'll sort it out when we return. 3-1. The Aeros lead it back after this, but first, this word from Southwest Airlines.
There was a time when the selection of Jeeps in our area...
Look at this goal. Turnover created by Mark Freer. Mark Lamb goes to shoot it out front, off the skate. Graham Townsend with the backhand flip. And that is such a tough play because he was handcuffed with the stick inside.
Now a shot whistled wide as the penalty. Whistled to Brian Straub, and the Dragons on their 6th power play of the night. Looped it into the corner. Back to the line. Berehowski, give it to Dave McIntyre. McIntyre worked it to Len Barry. Barry sets up at the hash marks near side. Barry scooped it down. Here's a chance. McIntyre gives to Berehowski, was taken away by Shuchuk. And he will turn and clear it down the ice. Here's another guy. Shuchuk hasn't been maybe involved as much in the offense, but the things he's done away from the puck has been terrific tonight. Now Barry shoots. Frank one just wide of the net. Loose puck picked up by Shuchuk, and he'll shoot one the length of the ice.
There's always a reason why you play in the NHL. Gary Shuchuk played in the NHL because he's a very smart hockey player, very fast, makes the simple plays.
Away come the Dragons, trailing 3-1. Puck dumped in. Panalev trying to push one in there. Battle for it. It was sent in. Stop shot. Shabaki score! It was blasted in there by, I think, Panalev.
It looked like it got caught up in Frederick Shabbat's feet. Panalev came around the net, tried to stuff it, and got a second whack at it. The puck was just sitting there, and he whacked it home the second time.
It's a power play goal, and we'll see here if maybe it was Panalev who jammed it in.
Tries to stuff it, it's not there. Second whack in the net. Kind of a weird play behind the net. We're going to get a look at it. The puck's bouncing. Gord Krupke goes around one way. Panalev comes around the other way. Gives it a second whack, and it's in the net.
Now the puck shot into the San Antonio zone. Aero lead, cut to 1. Dragons turn. They'll bring it up by Jason Miller. They've got the momentum as Panalev wheels through the neutral zone. Brought the puck behind him. That is offside if he touches it, and they're going to whistle it dead. And they'll bring the faceoff back to neutral ice.
Everyone in the Dragon organization was so thrilled that they could get Panalev on this team. And Ela Rose, who came over in the trade last year, the team traded Paul DiPietro to Vegas with Mark Laniel. We received LaRose and Bill Bullard, that we're going to see in a few days.
Yeah, if the Aeros get Bullard in shape and will be in the lineup, and as Dave Tippett alluded to in the intermission, give the Aeros another dimension at center. Now a chance, the Aeros shot by Townsend. Oh boy, I think Graham Townsend's going to come into his own this year. As Krupke hustles back, an icing call coming up, but Graham Townsend, he said, you know, I'll be happy if I could just get my 20 goals, but if he continues at a pace that he's been, especially in the second half of last year, 20 goals is nothing for him.
Well, if I'm a little bit of a mathematician, it would be 82.
If he goes a goal. Well, I don't think Graham Townsend's going to get a goal a game, and I don't mean to fire a shot at you, Graham, but
if you go back to exhibition, 3 games, 3 goals, 1 regular season game, 1 goal. But I think Graham Townsend would be more than happy, and the Aero organization would be more than happy with 20 out of him, some physical play. Such a big guy in front of the net.
Tough to move. And he starts things off.
You can notice the lines in the faceoffs. There's a new rule where the players have to keep their feet outside those lines.
Yeah, or it's an immediate whistle and you switch them up. Puck shot in after Conroy, but Racine came out to play it. And it's back out at center ice. Hurlbut turning it neutral. He's forechecked by Shank. Fired it off the boards. Aeros trying to bring it in, but it was intercepted by Barahowski. Bringing it across the line with Loach. Pass came to Shank. Right side. Shooting. Couldn't get a shot away. And the Aeros are going the other direction now. They've got skates. Conroy winding, faking, cutting, shooting. And Racine made the save. Loose puck jammed away as Lamb came down there. They turned around. Here come the Dragons. Loach worked it back. McIntyre right in, but it was tipped away. And the Aeros turn it around. Lamb feathered a pass for Shuchuk. Shuchuk trying to get in there, and he was taken to the wall with a solid check from David Harlock. McIntyre cranked one up ice.
If you can get that replay,
And
Shuchuk, back
it's
check.
now cleared. And back down for Steve Jakes. Back out at center. Here's a chance. Alan May shoots. That went wide. And it's picked up by San Antonio and cleared right back down. As we get a whistle, 3-2, the Aeros lead it. Boy, end-to-end action, both directions.
End-to-end action, and you can see Gary Shuchuk on that shift, hustled all the way back checking, and then would jump back into the play.
And for the Dragon side of things, that line of Barry, Loach, and Shank creating some havoc as well. They're pretty good off the puck in transition.
Well, their whole entire game is transition, and that's why Jeff Brubaker wants them to play against that Lamb-Conroy line, because that line has offense also.
Yeah, and tomorrow the difference between these two teams is it'll be interesting to see how Dave Tippett counters when he has last line change.
It's going to be unbelievable, because with that last line change, Dave Tippett is going to want to match against Len Barry's line.
The Dragons play 3 in 3 nights. They'll play in Houston tomorrow, and then they're back home Sunday against Orlando. Now the Aeros the other way. Dave Morissette cutting to the slot. Shoots. Stopped by Racine. He used Alme as a screen into the corner. He takes his man to the board. Now Morissette fires his body in there. Morissette trying to loosen up the puck. It's controlled by the Dragons, but they couldn't clear. Donnelly pinching, looped one down. That's picked up there by Mark LaForge. He'll skate up the wall and clear it out at center. Eric Cloutier for Houston. Now Morissette dumped it in.
Dave Tippett went to a big lineup there with Alme and Dave Morissette out there.
Now Cloutier getting into it. Right in front with Scott Hollis. Morissette is in there. Well, a lot of pushing and shoving. We'll sort it out when we return. Timeout on the ice. 12:38 to go in the second period. Aeros up 3-2. From Pete Dineen and Dave Tippett as the Aeros lead it 3-2. And Pete Dineen not happy that Eric Cloutier is picking up an extra 2 minutes here. And neither is Dave Tippett.
Well, there was a melee over there.
I think Tippett's wondering, have you ever heard of coincidental minors? Now Mark Freer is leaving the game. He's skating off, I'm sure just to get his skate adjusted. Is Steve Sumner?
Equipment trainer extraordinaire.
Oh, is there anyone better than Steve Sumner? I just want to know right now.
The training staff with the Houston Aeros is the best in the IHL.
And you got to play with it.
I know firsthand. They are the best.
Yeah, Steve Sumner and Jerry Mines. And, you know, and I've been in the business a long time myself and gotten to meet different trainers and good equipment guys. But there's Jerry. Top-notch medical guy.
Top-notch. Our whole entire medical staff, right to the doctors.
Yeah, and you would know.
Well, Dr. Matthews sitting right beside us.
Oh, I didn't know that. Oh, yeah, okay. Oh, okay. Shabbat makes the save, and he'll hold on.
There's Freddie Shabbat going down a la Patrick Waugh with that butterfly style with his chest upright.
The butterfly style, is that a predominantly French goaltender thing?
Patrick Waugh has made it a French goalie thing. Here's the replay. Good shot from Hanaleoff. Freddie Shabbat down, covering all the bottom of the ice. And there we saw the other goalie for the Houston Aeros. No, not Rob Dobson, Gord Donnelly.
Yes. Yes, shot blocker extraordinaire.
He missed that one, but he blocked so many a game.
Now the puck in the corner as the Aeros trying to kill off the penalty to Eric Cloutier. Berehowski long shot deflected wide. Here's a centering pass, a chance in front, the shot blocked. Another one by Miller. Shabbat got a piece of that one. Berehowski with a minute 23 on the man advantage to McIntyre. The shot tipped away. Donnelly chased to the corner. Hanaleev comes out with it. He's tapped to the wall by Hurlbut. Now the Dragons move it around. Brian Sullivan, who has a goal in the game, went down low, and that came out in front. The shot, score! That puck took a weird hop, and it was put in by Jason Miller.
Bad break off the back boards there. Here we go. The puck gets dumped down deep. It takes that weird hop. It jumps. It almost looks like it jumps over Frederick Shabbat's stick and Gord Donnelly's stick. Here we get another look. The puck goes down, comes off, boom. It went off Gord Donnelly's heel of his stick across the crease. What a tough break.
Good break for the San Antonio Dragons, and they have tied this game at 3. And boy, what a lot of character after going down 3-1. A power play goal has tied it at 3. And here come the Dragons once again. Barry, the long shot. Yo to the wall, trying to move it away. Here's Barry with a sharp angle shot, hit the side of the net. Now the puck center, but Alan May will jump on it and romp the center ice for Mark Lamb. Lamb back for May. May trying to cut in around. Here's a centering pass. Bilodeau got over there, and the puck goes up over the glass and out of play.
Lucky fan with a puck from the first season.
Tomorrow night, the Aeros kick things off with their home opener against the same San Antonio Dragons at 7 o'clock. I should mention, everybody, our radio flagship station, KKHT, has a prior broadcast on, I believe, Rice Football. So the Aeros will be heard only on radio tomorrow on 740 KTRH. And we want to thank KTRH for picking that game up.
Sure, Russ Small down there at KTRH. Good friends.
So we appreciate that. We'll have that for you beginning at 7 o'clock. The shot from Krupke goes wide. And it's back out at center. Loose puck at neutralized. Aeros having all kinds of trouble with it now. Aeros trying to move it ahead. Here comes Lamb across the line looking for Yo. Alan May had a chance. He'll shoot. Couldn't get good wood on it. And Bruce Racine is there to cover up and hold on.
Alan May fighting off a checker there, a la Gordie Howe, one-handed into Bruce Racine. And Alan May's been very sharp all camp. All camp. And there's the goalie mask of Bruce Racine. If we can get a close-up, I believe that is from the St. Louis Blues.
Yeah.
And yes, it is. Last year, he split time with Peoria in the IHL and St. Louis of the NHL. And he had some funny stories about Mike Keane when I briefly went by him today. And he had Mike, and he said Mike was an adventure for the goalies.
Just ask Brett Hull. I don't even know if he's talking to him yet.
I don't think they are on first name basis.
Face off to the left of Bruce Racine. Guy LaRose ready to take this face-off after Freer was tossed out of the circle. Drop of the puck. And it's picked up by San Antonio as they win the draw. They'll move it up and out at center ice. Townsend gives chase, but LaRose jumps on it. LaRose pushed it into the zone. He's taken to the boards by LaForge. Dragons running along the boards. Jakes pinches, and he's belted along the wall. In behind the net, it's Graham Townsend fighting for it. And it's rolled away. Jakes is in there as well. Arrows battling hard in a 3-3 game with the Dragons. Hurlbutt. It's missing LaRose. San Antonio back in their own end. Here's a chance. Townsend shoots. But a whistle, and the Arrows were offsides. Townsend had missed the net, and now some discussion after the whistle, and Townsend saying, hey, come on, the whistle sounded after I shot that.
It's so tough to hear the whistle here tonight with the crowd.
How about us? We are like maybe 15 feet from the ice. I've never been this low, this close. I mean, we're right near. I mean, if we took off our headsets, and, you know, Troy, look at how close we are. I mean, we are right by the ice here. We can see. In fact, I'm glad I've got a goaltender with me, because if a puck comes up here, I know you'll stop it as long as I'm not standing between your legs.
Exactly. If you put between my legs, you're in trouble.
Oh, man. Puck is back in the San Antonio end. Panalev goes back.
This is a la the old Boston Garden.
Yeah, you're right over the ice there. Puck shot in. Goes down Jason Miller to the corner. Straub worked him to the wall. In there is Panalev. He's battling with Al Conroy. Conroy muscled him off the feet. And they continue to grind it out. Panalev took an extra shot at Conroy. Lamb able to clear it.
He does not want to mix it up with Al Conroy.
No. Panalev, though, from what I understand, can take care of himself. Here's a chance for the Arrows. A pass coming into Shuchuk, knocked away.
They say his legs are the size of tree trunks.
Yeah.
That's how powerful he is.
Now the other way. Here come the Dragons. Brian Sullivan trying to center one, and play whistle down. And we've got a whistle. We've got a penalty behind the play. A roughing minor coming up, and I think it might be Gary Shuchuk.
There was a big mix-up back there, and there goes Gary Shuchuk for the penalty box. Not where he wants to be. There was a big mix-up behind the play. We were watching the play go down, and I caught it out of the corner of my eye, and they were kind of jousting. And Gary Shuchuk goes to the box.
Penalty on business number 14, Gary Shuchuk.
Face off to the right side of Freddie Shabbat as 2 minutes up to Shuchuk. And this game has been a tale of 2 periods all in one. The first half of the first period, the Arrows were outstanding, and you know, the first half of this period, the Arrows had picked it up and now find themselves giving up a couple of goals, and the Dragons have tied it at 3.
Tons of little battles going on all over the ice tonight.
McIntyre will start the power play from the left point. Worked it behind the cage for Loach. Puck takes a hot feet out in front, and Shabbat will cover up and hold on.
The puck is bouncing around Frederick Shabbat. He's getting very wise now just to pounce on it and cover it up. There's a good look at Frederick Shabbat's mask. which did come in time. Great paint job with the Aeros logo right on top with the teeth biting out. The Aeros hope that he has lots of bite in his game.
Off the draw, McIntyre worked one down for Len Berry. Berry getting set, takes the shot, cuts it down to Schenk, chips one back for Len Berry. 1:40 to go on the power play for the Dragons. McIntyre fakes the shot, worked it down, centers the shot. Oh, Perry came down the back door but couldn't get a shot away. Now centered, here's a chance for Schenk. Shabbat save, rebound. Shabbat with a terrific save there. And it is clear down the ice. Shabbat made a couple of trick ones there.
What a diving save. Lost his stick, had his arm out, his blocker out.
Now the Dragons again on the power play. Behind the cage, it's Danny Schenk who comes away with it. To the line for McIntyre. Slams it, Barahowski, the shot, change direction as it hit a stick. Now a shot, tipped in there. Shabbat again with another outstanding save in front. I'll tell you, the Dragons work the perimeter, and Frederick Shabbat has had enough of this. He'll cover up, and he'll hold on. Oh, man.
There goes that power play of the Dragons with those 5 guys on the ice. They are amazing. Well, and Frederick Shabbat a little slow getting up.
Yeah, Jerry Mines was right out the door to have a look. And don't forget, Freddie Shabbat had the bad knee last year.
Here we go. The puck goes around behind Frederick, comes out front. Bam, shot. There he is diving. He's got his blocker out. Getting trampled on. He's getting bumped a lot tonight. Puck out front, quick shot. Diving. Puck just lying there. Frederick says, I'm going to lay down here, cover all the bottom, and that puck is going nowhere. And that's one thing that Frederick might have to contend with is all the bumping that is going on tonight.
Yeah.
That's the 3rd time, and that takes a pounding on your body.
Well, and again, I'm still concerned about that knee that he injured last year, but it's not a concern to him, evidently. Here's a shot that went wide of the net. Back to the line, Barahowski has 45 to work on the power play. Puck came out in front. Aeros scoop it away. That's knocked back. Now a chance. McIntyre sends one in. It went through skates. Aeros need to clear the zone. But every loose puck, the Dragons are getting there. Here's Barahowski. The shot right on, and Shabbat will make the save, and he'll hold on. And now somebody takes a pop at Conroy, and then Jakes gets in there and wrestles that man to the ice.
Well, Jakes had no stick there. He was trying to clear the puck. It's pretty tough when you don't have a stick. He had lost his stick.
Well, Panalev and Conroy have been going at it now for a little bit. And Panalev took a pretty good pop at Al Conroy, and Al said, hey, you want to dance? Let's do it.
Here's the shot. A blistering drive. Steve Jakes tries to score Donnelly impersonation, slides down, but Frederick Shabbat, with all the goalie gear, has the glove and catches it. And as that play was going on, I talked to Dr. Matsu. He says Freddie Shabbat's knee is perfect, 100%. They checked him out in training camp, and he was ready to rock and roll.
Well, Al Conroy about to go to the box. I would assume 2 minutes for taking a punch. It's a new rule that I guess I wasn't aware of.
Yeah, well, they have a few new rules in the IHL this year. Taking a punch.
See, I mean, I would understand if Jakes would go. Jakes wrestling down Panalev, who's in the box, but
I think it was just easier taking Panalev off because they've been jostling all period at each other.
Well, Al Conroy will sit down, and here's another look at it.
There's another look.
Oh, okay. Well, I stand corrected. Thanks to Murphy Brown and
the face
there.
wash. The face wash.
Oh, there we go.
Oh.
All right.
Panalev said, I don't got any dirt there. You got any dirt on your face? And through the right hand.
I didn't see the original push by Al Conroy, and I stand corrected, and I apologize. All right, off the draw, Dragons go back to play it with 25 to go on the power play.
It works out that Dr. Matsu's here. That's great. I just got the information on Freddie Shabbat right to us. How quick was that? His knee's okay.
7:45 to play in the second period. 3-3 game, 10 remaining now in the San Antonio power play. Here's Len Berry speeding across the line. Had that scooped away, but now Schenk chipped one back for Berry as the power play is over. Teams at 5 aside. Jakes tied up by Berry. Came back on the board. Chuck came back out on the ice, and here come the Aeros 3-on-2. Shuchuk with Freer and Lamb. Shuchuk right side, centered Lamb, but coming back was Shank. And the Dragons able to clear it. They'll come the other way, 3-on-2. Lead pass for Barry. Across the line with Loach. He centered it, but back comes Eric Kluche, and he'll move it up ice. Kluche playing with it way too much in his own end. He coughed it up. Got too careless, and here's a chance in front. Kluche was playing with it and nearly cost his team. Kluche trying to dig it out. Kluche fighting for it. It's picked up by the Dragons. Centering pass, Osborne. Shabbat trying to reach around to get it. Couldn't. Puck still behind the cage. Kluche in there to try and poke it away. It came out in front. Step shot blocked, and a penalty coming up. And it might be to Eric Kluche. Let's take a timeout. We'll sort it when we return. 6:39 to play in the second. Tied at 3.
In an age of streamlining and downsizing,
Get this. Stick handled it too much in his own end zone, and with the constant forecheck that the Dragons have, they take it right off his stick, and he ends up chasing him down, and he works hard, but what he ends up doing is he comes back here, and he takes a 2-minute penalty. Bad shift for Eric Kluche and the Aeros.
All right, here's a centering pass that ricocheted off skates. Back to the line for Barahowski. And it's worked in behind. In fact, the goal that tied it was a power play goal off a Eric Kluche penalty. Now along the boards, Aeros trying to get it out of there. Freer moves one ahead, and here's De La Rose shorthanded, trying to feather one to Brian Straw, but Dragons are back, and here they come. Loach, rink wide pass, Shank trying to chase it down. In there's Donnelly. Donnelly taken to the boards by Shank. Now the puck came out in front, but that's stripped away, and Loach got it back to the line for Barahowski. Now McIntyre. Rolled one down, in behind. Aeros Donnelly gives it over to Guy LaRose, and here comes LaRose. He'll rough the center. Tied at 3, trying to kill off the minute 13 remaining in this Dragon power play.
And Eric Kluche does not want too many shifts like that, because under a 25-game contract, your contract is not guaranteed.
Across the line, here's a chance for Jason Miller. He tried to move one in there. Miller worked one back to the line. Here's a chance now for the Dragons. A long shot, change direction, went down. Shabbat will cover up and hold on. 5:31 to go in the second period. Tied at 3, 52 seconds remaining in the Kluche penalty.
Frederick Shabbat was very wise there to cover it up. A lot of times it's not that big drive from the point that scores the goal. It's that shot that just gets on the goalie. Their defenseman wristed it on Frederick Shabbat very alertly, pounced on it, and got the whistle. Just these little shots right there, bouncing puck, deflected down, a lot of stuff going on. Cover it up, get the whistle. Smart move by Frederick Shabbat.
Face off, left side of Shabbat. And Mark Lamb was going to take the face off, but didn't get set in the line. Now Shuchuk trying to win the draw. He did. Kicked it back. It was hammered along the board. The Aeros need to kill off the remaining 50 seconds. Dragons have it near side as the puck whistled dead for a hand pass, and that'll bring the face-off back to center ice as Joe Ernst, our referee, makes the call.
Joe Ernst has done a very good job tonight controlling the game. There's so much emotion in opening night that he took it upon himself to control the game, and I think he's done a very good job.
He's not the only one that's done a good job tonight.
I don't know. These mistakes, they can add up, just like my goals against average did last year.
All right, off the draw. The Dragons have it. And it's controlled by Brent Bilodeau. San Antonio trying to break out with a puck. Right to left they come. It's worked ahead by Hollis, and now it goes into the arrow end and back to play to throw, but that's an icing call and play whistle down.
The Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders were here tonight, but there's another friend of the Aeros that signed with the Dallas Cowboys, and that's Big John Flannery, who played for the Houston Oilers and who's a season ticket holder, who I believe is watching the game tonight in Dallas. At least I hope he's watching
and if
tonight.
he is, we should say hi to Big John Flannery.
We should say hi to Big John Flannery.
Have you ever seen anyone take a big golf swing like he does?
Oh, it is unbelievable when he hits that ball and when he makes contact. You know, at 300 pounds, being a big lineman, and I read that in transactions today, and I was so happy. He was up there working out, and just comes back with Michael Irvin, who's also back in the fold up in Dallas.
All right, face-off back to the Aeros in the San Antonio zone, and the Dragons win the draw. Panalev is there. Scooped it back in behind the net. There's still 18 seconds left in the Puche penalty. Aeros done a decent job of killing this off. Jakes, though, misplayed it. It was cleared out at center ice. 8 seconds to go in the power play. Is back to play is David Harlock. Sends it to Bilodeau, who turned the puck over. LaRose had it, but lost it to Harlock. It's back at center. Puche back out on the ice. Now chance. San Antonio brings it in. Puche's in there, taken to the boards by Panalev. Panalev came away with it. Shakes off the check of Puche. Panalev making the move. Trying to waltz around Jakes. Here's a centering pass. The shot jammed just wide. Here's another stop shot in front. That's tipped away. Aeros need to clear it. They'll take an icing call here. They're able to get it out of the zone. They end up getting a line change.
Panalev is like Merlin the magician out there.
The puck back in the San Antonio end. In there's Harlock. Tipped away by Alan May. He centered one, but it hit skates. And the Dragons are there. They'll move it up the boards and out in center ice. Miles O'Connor tips one to Krupke. Now O'Connor will move it up. O'Connor gingerly moves one ahead for Yo, and it's into the San Antonio zone where Racine will stop it. 3:45 to play in the second. Yo centered one. That hit a skate of Alan May, who was dumped on the play, and a penalty coming up to the Dragons. Delayed call. And we get a whistle, and the Aeros are going to get a power play, but we'll sort it out when we return. Timeout on the ice. 3:36 to go. We'll be right back.
There was a time when the
Period tied at 3, and how good a play does Mike Yo make here?
That's what Dave Tippett wants. Get it deep. Get it deep. Get it deep. Oh, there's a penalty. He got it deep. He got it on the net. And even before that, they got it deep. Dave Tippett, I believe, has told them, let's get back to the basics. Get that puck deep. Let's get our forecheck going. He's worked so hard on this forecheck. It doesn't work if the puck's not deep.
So the Aeros will get another crack on the power play. They're 6th of the night, but they're going to have to start from within their own end as the puck shot down, smacked away by Shabbat. Shank going in after it, and that's feathered away. Aeros having trouble with it. Shank takes it, and he'll just skate shorthanded. Daniel Shank turning in his own end, and he'll fire it right back into the Aero end. We're tied at 3 with 3:12 left to go in the second period. 1.5 to go in the Aero power play. Mike Hurlbut through the neutral zone. He'll go. Shoots it into the San Antonio end. Now jammed away, and the Dragons shoot it down the ice. Here's Shabbat. Fake smacking it along the boards as Shank was going in there. Daniel Shank doesn't have a goal in this game, but he's wreaked a lot of havoc tonight. Here's a puck that's knocked away, and the Aeros can't even get it across the line right now.
They need to get it deep. They need to get it deep.
Here is Mike Hurlbut in behind his net for Houston with under a minute to go in the power play for Freer. He'll backhand it into the zone. Townsend pursues. Out of the net, Racine. And it's up for Grigory Panalev, and he'll just shoot it right back down the ice.
You have that pronunciation down perfect, Adam.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
You got a little Russian in you?
No.
Oh, okay.
Here is Alan May. He'll send it up for Miles O'Connor. Pass too far for Straub. Bring it across the line, looking for Freer. Aeros get it in. Now they got to control the puck. Townsend loosens it up into the corner, but it's picked up by Osborne. Osborne poked it along the board. 20 seconds to go in the power play, and the Aeros will bring it ahead. The Dragons will bring it ahead. They'll dump it in as that was Guy Levac, and back goes Miles O'Connor. And then he sends one over to Brian Straub. 7 seconds left in the power play. Freer for Alan May. Down left wing. Looking for a man to pass to Chamberlain. Takes May to the boards. That'll do it. Teams at 5 aside. And Aeros really struggled on that power play.
That was not one of their better efforts in the night by any means. They never got it deep. They never got any sustained pressure.
Here's Al Conroy. Bring it across the line. Dropped it for Shuchuk. Now jumped on by Lamb. Centered one, but nobody there. And it's Jason Miller who'll come away for San Antonio. Wants to head. Loose puck, Al Conroy. Now Hurlbut. Fired one ahead. Shuchuk. That was offside. Here's the shot by Shuchuk. Long save. I'm not so sure that the Aeros were offside. They might have been offsides on that play, but it didn't matter with under a minute to go in the second period, tied at 3.
Very close play, but a very good play by Mark Lamb. Just a one-touch pass it to Gary Shuchuk, who was going down the wing. And the Aeros would like to get the puck to Gary Shuchuk a little more because of his speed. Steve Jakes playing behind the blue line. Here's the replay.
Yeah.
A shot.
It was from the far. I think Lamb might have been a step ahead. We don't really see it there.
Yeah, it was tough from this angle where we are positioned here. But he did make a nice little chip pass, offside or not, and we did have the shot. Face-offs, Dragons, 16-7.
Yeah, and that was the area that the Aeros were outstanding in the preseason.
Well, you control the face-offs, you control the play, you control the puck.
Off the draw, Aeros lose the face-off, but it's taken away by Shuchuk. Shot smacked just wide. Conroy trying to dig it out. Looking for Mark Lamb in the corner, and the puck frozen and play halted again with 49 seconds to play in the period. Boy, there's a guy that is on a mission, I think, this year, Al Conroy. And I'm quoting Al Conroy when I asked him about last year and how well he had last year. He had 24 goals and did so many other things well, but he said, Adam, I was downright embarrassed when he looked at his plus-minus number, and he says, this is going to be different this year.
11 years pro, he never had a year like last year. Never.
Now Shuchuk cutting in, looking for the pass. It came out in front. Conroy fighting for it. His shot went high and wide. In there, it's Brent Bilodeau for the Dragons. Teams are five-a-side as we're down to 30 seconds in the period, and San Antonio will bust out with it. Pass missing Shank, and the Aeros are back. They're going to whistle it dead on a two-line pass. I didn't think Shank touched it.
I didn't think Daniel Shank touched it either, but they called him on it. Jeff Brubaker, the bruiser.
He's going to be our guest in the second intermission. We chatted with him before the game, and
my first ever pro game I ever witnessed was in the American League. Jeff Brubaker was playing for the Halifax Voyageurs. He was with the Montreal Canadiens farm team, and wouldn't you know it, there was a brawl.
And he wouldn't have been in it, would he?
I believe he started it. I'm going to have to ask him that this year.
You got a lot to ask him after the game. Here come the Dragons now. Across the line, a shot and a stick saved by Shabbat. We've got a whistle, and we've got a penalty coming up.
And this is not a penalty that Dave Tippett will be happy with. It was Guy LaRose over on the far side, and it looked like there could have been a little bit of a dive, but I believe he's going to get 2 minutes for tripping over on the far side of the play. And it was away from the play. These are penalties that are very tough. Here you go. The camera cannot even get it. It's so far away from the play, and that's not a great sign with 19 seconds left. But that's where the fraction occurred.
Well, Dave Tippett, he's been wanting to get some consistency out of his team. And, you know, you look at it, they had a 3-1 lead into this period and let it melt away here. And at least they've battled, though. They've been in there and nearly had a chance to take the lead, but a lot of credit goes to San Antonio.
There's so many little battles going on all over the ice, Adam, that tonight it's behind the play, those little battles, just like that tripping call.
2 minutes up on the board, so the Dragons will get the bulk of it. And wow, now we got Gord Prupke getting into it with, I believe, Brian Sullivan, and Sullivan got it going there with Prupke, and I don't know if they'll both go or what. I think they might. Frank Prestia-Giovanni, the linesman, escorting Brian Sullivan off. Frank makes his home. Great story on him. He makes his home in Houston, and I said, what do you do when you're not refereeing? He says, I'm a collection guy. He says, oh, so you're good at taking abuse.
Is that what he really is?
Yeah, he runs a collection agency back in Houston. He's like a manager.
Holy cow. Looks like he's collecting someone right now and kicking him off the ice.
Yeah,
oh.
He said, sometimes I take things that I learn on the ice and use it to my job at the collection agency, and other times I take what I learned at the collection agency and bring it out on the ice. And it all has to do with thick skin, I guess.
Sure. And this crew tonight is a very experienced crew in the IHL. And the skating commissioner, with him being in the stands, I'm sure he didn't want any hanky-panky going on tonight, so...
hanky-panky, huh?
Hanky-panky. So he made sure that he had some of the better officials here tonight.
Face-off will be to the right side of Freddie Shabbat, who has been anything but hanky-panky.
Very stellar tonight.
Here's a shot by Barry that changed direction on Shabbat, and he made the save, and again a push and a shove, and the linesman getting in there. 6 seconds to go in the period. By the way, coincidental minors to both Sullivan and Prupke.
There you go. Lots of a face-off, drive from the point, and I believe that was tipped in front of Freddie Shabbat. And with that style that he plays, he's able to cover up the rebound. That was a difficult save.
Jason Miller taking the draw. Usually a guy like Glenn Barry who's out there, he's playing the point on this power play. Barry, top-notch guy in the face-off circle. off the draw. Dragons win it. Here's Barry again. Lets the shot go. That was deflected wide. Here's a chance in front. Barry winding, shooting, and saving his Shabbat, but we've got a whistle as the buzzer sounds, so it would not have counted. But the Aeros, I think, quite frankly, can breathe another sigh of relief.
Well, with the way they played that period, I think they're happy to get out of the period tied. It was not a very good period for the Aeros, but now they got 20 minutes to regroup. Last year, they would be down 5-3. It's tied, regroup, let's come fighting back out.
Yeah, and it's really important. I thought you brought up a good point before the game when we were talking. You said, you know, the Aeros, it's so tough going into the third period being down. In fact, I don't think the Aeros ever won a game last year when they were behind after 2 periods. Now they're tied in a position to win this thing.
And that's what Dave Tippett wanted. You're on the road, you're in like a jungle in here. Not Fort Wayne, but it's San Antonio's jungle. If you're tied going into the third period, you can't be all disappointed.
All right, we are tied at 3 after 40 minutes of play from San Antonio. And when we return, a visit with the shot. Score! He had been silent for the most part tonight, but his goal speaks volumes now. Len Barry gets a huge goal to send the Dragons ahead for the first time tonight.
That's one of those goals that you call a gift goal. The puck comes out to the point, comes across. Here it comes across the point. Great play by Barahowski down to Len Barry. Open net on the side. And those are goals that the Aeros certainly do not want to give up. It's an empty net goal, basically, because Barahowski was going to walk with the puck and Barry shoots it in the empty net.
Now the Dragons fire one ahead. The puck shot in. Shabbat has to get in front of it. Gord Donnelly will turn it around in his own end. First lead of the night for San Antonio. Lots of hockey to go in the period. Aeros clear the zone, but it's controlled by Chapdelaine, and he'll fire it down the ice. Now Brian Straub